How did you do that? How did you do that?
First things first, we are going to be grabbing a brown shade and we're just going to be smoking out our crease. It really doesn't matter what brown shade you use. I know we all have similar shades to this one. I honestly am not quite sure what I use, but I will have everything listed down below in the description box. Then I used my MAC Painterly Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, and we're just going to be cutting the crease because we want this to be cut and clean. That's the whole point of this Halloween tutorial, is just a very cut and clean look. Now we're gonna go and take this gorgeous shimmery shade. I just kind of wanted it to kind of go with the crease color. I didn't want it to be too intense, but I also didn't want to do a big smoky eye because we are going to be doing this jack-o'-lantern. I just wanted to kind of make it look a little bit more glam. Then I'm going to be taking this nice brow bone color and just kind of adding a pop of that to really carve out and bring out the tension to our brows. And then I just go back in and blend everything out because I'm so anal about my blending. I want to make sure it looks very clean and just beautiful. Then I'm going to be taking my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Custard, and I'm just going, not in Custard, in Ginger, and I'm just going to be putting this all over and cleaning up that lower part of my eye because we want it to look very nice. And then we're going to be taking that same brown shade that we used on our crease and smoke out our lower lash line. This is very important to the look, to bring it together and bring it to life, because we definitely want it to be a smoky eye. We want it to still look super glamorous but still look dark, if you know what I mean. Then we're going to be taking this light color that we use for our brow bone and just place it in our inner tear duct to add a pop. Last thing we want to do to make this eye look gorgeous is add a nice cut wing. I'm just using my Holy Grail Maybelline Gel Liner, and I'm also using my Holy Grail Sigma brush. Let me see which brush this is. I have it right here. It's my Sigma E65 brush. This is the best brush to apply your liner. It really just makes everything amazing. Without this brush, I was nothing before when it came to the eyeliner game. Then we're going to be taking these Violet Voss lashes. I will have the style linked down below. I'm not exactly sure what it's called off the top of my head, but I will have it linked down below. I love it. I feel like it looks super dramatic, but it still allows you to see my eye makeup. Then we're just taking some mascara and adding that on our lower lash line to really intensify the look. Now we're going to begin the Halloween aspect of this look. So we're just going to start by drawing the outline of where this kind of cut pumpkin look is going to be. You can use any black liner you want. I actually purchased this for like $2.99 at my local beauty supply store, so it's not like a super expensive liner. I just wanted something kind of cheap to use for my Halloween looks. And then I'm just going to start carving out the mouth, the teeth. So for this, you can really just kind of eyeball it or be creative, do whatever you want. What I wanted to do was make sure that it was kind of similar to some inspiration that I picked up from the internet. So you can literally look it up, pictures of jack-o'-lanterns or just anything, and then figure out what you want to do, or you can literally just be creative and just use your imagination to create this. Then I'm doing the eye. For the eye, I kind of messed up because I filled in my brow and made it look beautiful. You don't need to do that. Your brow can look natural. You don't need to add anything because you're literally just going to be going over with the black liner all over that entire eye space and covering up your brow. So it doesn't really matter. So that's just something to keep in mind because that's something that I completely forgot to do. And I'm like, why did I fill this brow? Why did I waste product when I didn't need to? So then I'm going to go back in with a dark black. It doesn't matter what dark black, just make sure it's super dark and intense. I've been using my Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca palette. That palette has been my holy grail for these Halloween looks these past few weeks, and it really makes a difference. So I would definitely suggest using a really black palette, but I really love the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca palette. If you guys do have that and you plan on doing some Halloween looks for these next weekends, then I would definitely recommend using that to create your gorgeous looks. And then we're going to start shading in the part of the pumpkin. So you want to be very, very light with it because you want the shading to look as realistic as possible. At first, that top part, I really wasn't feeling because I thought it was too dark. But then as I started to shade in the rest of that outer area, I started to kind of see everything come to life. So you can really, really play around with your shadow. It doesn't have to be perfect. I played around with it for a few minutes before I really kind of figured out exactly how I wanted to shadow it. But I must say, when it comes to these Halloween looks, shadowing your look is everything. So really go back to references and see shadowing that you really, really like. And also just play around with your pencil, play around with your fingers. You can rub in the product, diffuse it out with some brushes. That's the beauty of makeup, is that you can really diffuse it out with the brushes. Brushes make such a difference. So I just used this very tiny Morphe brush, and I started to kind of go in and start to really, really like smoke it out as if I was blending out a smoky eye. So you can see how it's starting to look more dimensional than it did when I first started to add the shading. Now we're going to take an orange shade from my Vida Loca palette. Now, for this, you could honestly either use a shadow or you could use actual paint from Michael's or just Party City, the Spirit Halloween store, where you can actually buy paint. But this is what I had in handy, so this is the easiest thing. And this can also show you guys that you don't need to go spend money on paint to, create this look. You can just do some shadows at home. So if you do have the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca palette, it will be very, very handy right now because it really got that orange in there. Now we're just going to be drawing the nose. It's like a little triangle. Actually, no, it's not a triangle. It's more like a Hershey kiss. Just think of it as a Hershey kiss, and you want to make sure that you still give the space between your whole shading and the nose and the little Hershey kiss on your nose some space so that you can see that it still looks realistic and it's not too close together. So you just kind of want to make sure that you have everything kind of parted so that you can really give yourself space to work with what you're doing. And then I'm going to go back in and start shading. But for this shading, we kind of want to give it those like shadows that pumpkins naturally have on them. So that's what I kind of was doing for this. I definitely had to look at a picture because I really wanted to make it look really realistic. I feel like sometimes if you just kind of envision it in your head, it doesn't go that way. So you kind of really do want to look at a picture for this. So I would definitely use a picture for reference. I keep going down there and really intensifying this look because I feel like that's what it needs. A lot of shadowing, a lot of black in there. You just want to make it look as cool as possible. So this part is optional, but I just kind of wanted to do just a little bit of extra detail. I feel like this extra detail kind of took my look to the next level. I feel like when I was just had that side just pumpkin wise, I just felt like it didn't look complete. I feel like I needed to add something. And sometimes you look at, yourself when you're doing these looks and you're thinking, what can I add to make this look a little bit more realistic? And I feel like this was a cherry on top to really adding like that poof to my look. So I really would recommend just kind of like playing around with it. And the cool thing about this is that if you need to like change things or you mess up, you can always go back with the foundation and just kind of take it off and start all over again. I know it looks like I just like easily did this, but there were some parts that I did edit out where I was like, okay, this looks not the best, so let me just go back in, take that out, and restart again. So just don't give up, just play around with it. It's a lot of fun, and you can just get creative as possible. That's the funnest thing about these Halloween looks, is that you literally have room to do whatever you want. And then here I'm just going back in with my Morphe blending brush, and I'm going to blend this out a little bit more so we have a little bit more added dimension. I feel like dimension is just everything for this look. I feel like it did so much like cool effects to it. It kind of made it look a little bit more 3D looking. So that was something that I really enjoyed doing, was spending a lot of time really working on the detail, which you are seeing right here. And that is the final look. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching my pumpkin look. Bye guys. So it's almost 1 a.m. and I'm so like delusional at this point that I'm literally just sitting here watching The Voice like. But also, I love this makeup so much, I just don't want to take it off. Like, I just want to keep this beautifulness going on all night. But if I do, I'm going to get hives again. So, I'm going to hop off this camera and go wipe this beauty off. And I'll be back soon. Peace, people. Good night. Get some good rest tonight because Mama's about to sleep good and wake up at 5 a.m. So, I only have 5 hours of sleep.